Live from the KOIN Center in downtown Portland, this is KOIN 6 News. Watching out for you.
Oh my God! Where are the cops?
A car along I-205 engulfed in flames, and the owner says that Mercedes just shut off before being consumed by the fire and then exploding. This is KOIN 6 News at 11 o'clock. I'm Jennifer Hoff.
I'm Jeff Gianola, and the owner tells us he's only had that car a month. Our Andrew Dimbert digging deeper into some possible recalls that may have led to this, Andrew?
Yeah, so I've been looking into this extensively, and it turns out that on this 2015 sedan, it does have one recall notice listed by Mercedes-Benz, but it makes no mention of fire. So is there another recall that may be a factor? That's what we intend to find out.
It's too late, it's on fire.
As I was driving on the 205 bridge, the car turned off, and I had to pull over to the left shoulder. I didn't expect that the car would catch on fire or even less explode.
Gabriel Lopez had just purchased this 2015 C300 4MATIC sedan from Mercedes. It was certified used with low mileage. Lopez thought he got a deal. Turns out it was more like a fire sale. When Lopez bought the car, he asked the Mercedes dealership if anything was wrong. They told him about this power steering recall listed directly on the Mercedes-Benz corporate site. It makes no mention of fire.
This could happen to any other car that it's out there right now. This could blow up.
So I turned to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, where I found another, far more dangerous recall. Quote, Mercedes is recalling certain model year 2015 C300 4MATIC vehicles, the exact same make, model, and year of Lopez's charred car, for, quote, fuel delivery module, which may become loose and leak fuel, increasing the risk of a fire.
911 is on the way.
That recall includes vehicles manufactured from April 7th, 2014 to July 25th, 2014. But Lopez's car was built in September, just outside of that window. Now, as for this incident, no one was hurt. So again, Lopez's fiery car was manufactured just a little over a month outside of the Mercedes fire recall window. Now, we do plan to reach out to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration to see if that recall time frame needs to be expanded or if this was just an isolated incident.
Andrew, I know you'll keep us updated. Thank you. Okay, the weekend is here. Our chief meteorologist, Kristen Van Dyke, is here as well. Is this rain going to last Saturday and Sunday?
I know, that is $1 million question.
Yeah.
It's just been so wet today, yesterday, this whole week being very active, but we do have a few more showers to get through before we do get some clearing going. So there's some good news. Half the weekend will be dry and half of it will be wet. So I'll track that for you in just a second. But out there right now, look at this. We have more showers pushing into the Portland metro area as we speak, moving through Cedar Mill there and heading right into Portland, backing it out. You can see more developing back over Hillsborough. Same area is just getting hit time and time again with these showers that are still coming down at a decent intensity back toward Estacada and over the Cascades. More showers. We're seeing that change over into snow, of course, with any elevation up to 2,500 feet. So low elevation snow happening right now, and we're going to continue to see that overnight tonight. Temperatures are plummeting too. It's going to be chilly. I'll have your full breakdown, let you know when we'll finally dry things out and when we can find some sunshine coming up in just a little bit.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Thanks, Kristen. Now to the latest on the toxic levels of heavy metals found in parts of North and Southeast Portland.
A neighborhood coalition now mapping out who's been tested for those chemicals, then posting that on an interactive map, hoping it will shed some light on the problem. Our Cole Miller joined us, and I understand you spoke to a woman, Cole, who had her son tested?
Oh, Jeff, that's right. And the last couple of weeks, they've really caused a lot of panic and frustration with people living in those affected areas. Now, this latest tool is aimed at plotting out problem spots to give their neighbors an idea of what they're seeing at a more localized level.
We're kind of on the outer range, so I thought maybe it'd be a good idea to have him double checked.
Teresa Harris has lived at her Selwood home for decades, and even though it's more than a mile away from Bullseye Glass, which just recently stopped using arsenic, cadmium, and chromium, potentially toxic chemicals, she still has a reason to worry. Her 15-year-old son is a freshman at Cleveland High, in the heart of what's being called a dangerous air hotspot. So she had him tested.
For both nickel and cadmium, it was a spot urine test.
And when the results came back, a sigh of relief.
So my son came back undetectable, so At this point, I'm not terribly worried, but I am concerned for Portland Air.
She and others have been posting their results here. It's an interactive map put together by the Eastside Portland Air Coalition.
I think they wanted to kind of give this to OHA or something to help kind of track where those positive results are coming from, to see how much it's really affecting people health-wise.
Some of the tests, according to that map, came back indicating levels of arsenic and cadmium. We're reaching out to those families to learn more about what those test results mean. It's something Harris says she'll continue to keep an eye on as neighbors, local, state, and federal leaders now push for change.
There's just some regulations that really need to be enforced, I think.
And the Eastside Portland Air Coalition is also beginning to post soil sample results. That's on a separate map. Now, a long-term goal with this group is to enact legislation allowing more oversight by public agencies to prevent this kind of pollution. Back to you.
Okay, Cole, thank you. And there's something else. There's a new sign up even at the Clinton Community Garden, located about a half-mile from Bullseye Glass. It's warning that the garden is within the perimeter of the potential air and soil contamination and that more testing for the toxins is underway. Those results are expected in a couple weeks. Health experts are telling people who live within a half-mile of Bullseye Glass not to eat any produce grown in home gardens.
Also, we found out there may be another Southeast Portland neighborhood with possible heavy metal pollution. Moss samples taken in the Brentwood-Darlington area showed unusually high levels of nickel. Now, that neighborhood, right next to Precision Cast Parts, a company that makes airplane parts, 3 years ago, it topped a list of the most toxic polluters in the entire country.
I wonder if they can do that post haste. I mean, sooner the better. They got to take care of that. I mean, we have a lot of people, a lot of kids in this area, and that's a dangerous thing for them and for us.
Precision Cast Parts tells us tonight they mostly use a low toxic form of nickel alloy, but before a health risk can be declared there, extensive air monitoring has to be done. This is a story we'll continue to follow and push for answers. You can get more information on KOIN.com.
Now to a robbery suspect caught on camera trying to hide. Yep, on the roof of a Southeast Portland home, and our cameras were there as police got Michael Swagert to come down. They say he robbed an adult video store overnight on Southeast Foster. A police dog then tracked him to this neighborhood, and as you can imagine, it woke a lot of people up.
There were quite a few police vehicles out there with lights on. There was a lady policeman at the door, and that I should evacuate immediately, that there was an armed suspect on my roof. They just had me go into my bedroom and close the door and wait there.
Police say they also found cash and a gun in a neighbor's backyard. Swagert is facing one robbery charge, but investigators say he may be connected to other recent robberies.
An important health alert tonight about a possible hepatitis A exposure at the Sandy Cinema. The case was first reported on Wednesday, and Clackamas County Public Health is now investigating. So, anyone who ate or drank from the concession stand on between February 12th through the 15th could have been exposed to hepatitis A. The health department says the risk of exposure is extremely low, but for more information, you can go to KOIN.com.
Tonight, there are new efforts to try and reduce tough prison sentencing guidelines that have been in place for decades.
Yeah, we're talking about Measure 11 here in Oregon. Christine Vanderoer was at the state capitol today calling for change, and she says she was 19 when she was sentenced to the mandatory minimum of just under 6 years for second-degree robbery. She was a first-time offender, but under Measure 11's rules, what wasn't taken into consideration?
I don't know. I don't think that my criminal history will inhibit me so much as give me the kind of perspective needed to really get some, meaningful criminal justice reform going.
But opponents and victims of some violent crimes say repealing Measure 11 will drive up crime and go against the will of the voters. In 1994, it was approved by an almost 67% margin. Well, new at 11, a local family needs your help finding some special dresses accidentally given away.
See, a Benson High School alum is hoping you've seen these dresses handmade by her mom, who has rheumatoid arthritis. They were removed from her grandparents' attic in order to make room for construction. Her uncles put all of the items from the attic, including these dresses, on Craigslist to be given away for free. And this was all discovered when the family came home from vacation this week.
All I have left for my daughter is the dresses that I made with all my love, hopes, and dreams. That the dresses, one day my granddaughter will wear them, my great-granddaughter will wear them, and they can feel the love I have for them.
Oh, just breaks your heart. If you responded to the Craigslist ad, or maybe you know somebody who might have, contact this family. We've put their information on the news link section of KOIN.com.
A reminder not to go to bed until you see the highlights from the best Blazer game of the season tonight. They beat the NBA's #1 team, and Damian Lillard did something no other NBA player has done since Michael Jordan some 20 years ago.
Next, a shocking discovery, and one woman says it came from inside a can of beans.
When I went to dish them out, thought it was a burnt bean, and lo and behold, it was a snakehead.
Tonight, why an Oregon company is now part of the investigation. Plus, a funnel cloud of fire as